Coach, I'll give you that $100 here. I got two things. I added this to my speech this morning, but I don't know if anybody plays Wordle at the New York Times game, but anybody, did you play today? What was the word?
Racer.
Racer. Ooh, how fitting for today. I thought that was awesome. But and I know, Danny, you shed some tears. I'm going to try to get through this speech without tearing up, but no promises. I read my first draft last week to my wife in the car, and 10 minutes later, we're both in a Home Depot parking lot crying. So if you've never cried while buying drywall, I tell you, it's riveting. So anyway, I'll get started. So there's only really one way to start this speech off. How about you, Racer fans? And football, more so than any sport, is a team sport. The player that typically gets the most praise, obviously, is the quarterback, but there's 10 other guys on the field that have to do a play, or have a job to do every play. I always told myself if today like today ever happens, I want as many people here as possible to celebrate with me. Guys flew in from all over the country. We got guys from Vegas, Houston, got a crew from Houston, New York. One guy even came all the way from Cadiz, Kentucky. and I hate to do this to you guys because Nico already kind of had everybody stand up, but all my former teammates, I'd love for you guys to stand up for a minute. I really mean this honor is just yours and his mine, so thank you guys for being here. I also want to thank Dave Winder and the Hall of Fame committee for nominating me and putting on this great event. Growing up in Murray, idolizing guys like Justin Fuente, Isaac Spencer, Reggie Swinton, D.T. Mays, Stuart Childress, and even the guy that's here tonight getting inducted, Cuthbert Victor. I never could imagine my name being mentioned in the same breath as these guys. Thank you to our athletic director, Nico Yanko. I want to share with you all what kind of person Nico is. So it's 2009, I'm a freshman, Nico's a senior. Nico and Jeff battled all throughout camp to be the starting quarterback, and both started a handful of games that season. And Coach McHale kind of hit on it a second ago. With 3 games left, I was told that I was going to be the starting quarterback the rest of the season. I was shocked. You guys have heard the story already. I began as a 6th string, jersey number 24. Never thought I was going to touch the field. Well, I've never asked Nico how he felt about that decision, and I don't want to start the speech off cussing, so I'm going to just use the word upset, just to keep it PG here. But I'm sure he probably doesn't remember this next part, but it's always stuck with me. I leave the stadium that Sunday night, and there's Nico standing on the stadium steps waiting for me. I didn't know if he was about to try to beat me up, what was going on. But I don't remember exactly what he said to me, but I'll always remember that he had words of encouragement for me. And he didn't have to take that time to talk to me in what was a difficult moment for him. So I'm always so appreciative of him and Jeff for how they both handled that situation. They could have made those final 3 weeks miserable for me and taken their frustrations out of me, but they didn't. So Nico, 17 years later, thank you for that. A few other folks that I need to recognize. I saw Matt Kelly in the back there. Everybody has been here. I think 7 of the 8 have been here when Matt Kelly's been here. So you know how much Matt means to this university and each student that has come through here. I was so glad that this lady was able to make it here tonight. Make it short. Without her, none of us are graduates. There are 2 other folks that on campus that I want to recognize that are no longer here with us tonight. Miss Inez Lyon. Anybody knows Miss Inez? She's the reason I don't fit an XL shirt anymore. She worked in the cafeteria, loved all of us athletes, fed us good, fed me too good. Dr. Bob McGahee. Doctor. Hey! Yeah, here we go. Thank you. Need some riffraff back there. Doc was a huge part of this university, a huge part of this community, and one of my biggest supporters and fans. There's a lot of parts I'm probably going to get emotional about. If I get through that one, I might have a chance. So when they write a book about Murray State one day, he'll have one of the first chapters. So we miss him every day. Thank you to everyone that covered us and gave us attention before social media was around. John Brush, Neil Bradley, Tommy Dillard, Michael Dan, Ricky Martin, Jeff Bidwell, Dusty Luthi, John Wright, Lyndon Suter, Will Aubrey, and the late Joey Fosco. To a few of the coaches who played a huge part in my development as a player. Buster Faulkner, Mitch Stewart, Sean Dawkins, Steve Adams, Eddie Parker. They're all a big reason why I'm standing up here today. And I'd love to talk more about each of these guys, but Dave's given us a strict time limit. Don't want him to cut the mic off, so we've got to move on. And I already saw Lindy Where's Brandon Wicks at? There's Wicks in the back. So hey, bar's still open, food's still, if you need to get a drink or go to the bathroom, now's a chance to talk about Callaway County football for a second. Coach McKeel, he introduced me tonight, obviously, so thank you, Coach, for being here. Dave got a great introduction about Coach. He's a racer, former All-OVC tight end, and I was able to learn from somebody that knew that time commitment and the work that it took to be a great football player. Coach McKeel's first season as a head coach was my freshman year. So we got to experience some lows together, but we also got to experience some of the highest of highs Callaway football's ever seen. And I want to tell a quick story about my first start in high school, and this is where Lindy and Brandy, y'all might want to put some earphones in, but I was a junior. We were opening up the season at Murray High at Ty Holland Stadium. Going into that game, if my memory serves, we were a pro-style high backfield team. At halftime, we were losing, hadn't done much on offense, so the second half, we 4 wide shotgun, throwing it around every play, and we went on to beat Murray on a last-minute touchdown and put that pro-style offense obviously on the shelf. But the program really turned a corner after that game, and so did my football career. So I owe so much of not only my growth as a football player, but also as a man to Coach McKeel. Thank you. Coach Hatcher just took a new job, as we already talked about. Couldn't be here. Thank him for everything that he did for me and so many guys here tonight. Could fill up hours telling stories about him with all the guys here, but we'll say that for a little later at the apple. Watching him and his coaching staff sleep in the stadium when they got hired, paint walls, ceiling tiles, still get up at 5 a.m. to be in the weight room with us. It showed us 2 things. No job was too small, and that they were just as committed to our success as we were. Coach Hatch and his staff made football at Murray State fun again, not only for us, but for you guys as the fans. I was fortunate enough to play with tons of great receivers. Too many to name here tonight, but there are 2 that are now in the Murray State Hall of Fame. Walter Powell, and obviously, Marcus Harris. My first start under Coach Hatch was the infamous Missouri State homecoming game. It was during that game that I really learned how to be a great quarterback. And everybody tries to make this freaking position so complicated. It's simple. If you have a player that's better than everybody else, which he was, throw it to him. Throw it to him a lot. And if he's covered, throw it to him anyway. And I promise he caught a lot that game and went on to catch a lot the rest of the season. So, Sue, thanks for making me look good. You can't have a great offense if you can't run the ball. Mike Harris was the first team All-OVC running back in 2010 2011. Throw in Dwayne Brady and a lineman that never got the love they deserve. Tomlin, Bivens, Mahoney, O'Hendies, Hobson, Hogan, Radecki, Littlefield, Kelly. We really had something special. Coach Hatcher used to tell us all the time, luck is when opportunity and preparation meet. And I love that quote because every successful person has had luck on their side. And I'm certainly no different. I was fortunate to catch a lot of breaks, be in the right offenses with the right people around me and the right coaches. However, we also know how hard we all worked to make sure we were prepared when those opportunities presented themselves. To my aunts and uncles who came from out of town to be here tonight, I really owe most of my success to you guys. I had to get some athleticism from somebody, and it wasn't my dad. So. And to my in-laws, Ron and Stacy, thanks for making the trip down and for all your support over the years. To my parents, Tab and Beth, this one is going. We got some issues with it. I made it a tissue. The wins, the stats, the awards, those are all great, but I really appreciate it. So thankful for how you taught me to treat people. Thanks for waking up at 6 a.m., driving me to the high school to lift weights before I had my license. Thank you for never missing a game and always being present. It means more to me than you'll ever know. You let me pave my own path. You didn't hover over me. You never forced me in any sort of direction. You let me make my own mistakes and learn from them. Growing up, never once did I hear you say I should be playing ahead of someone or ask or question some of my coaches. I will admit, though, my granny, Betty Brockman, she did plenty of that for me. But seriously, that's so uncommon. And Coach Wright, you know this, especially in today's transfer portal world, where everyone has to have immediate gratification, or they just pack their bags and go home, and you didn't let me do that. Most importantly, thank you for raising me to be a racer. Coach McKeel already talked about it. Didn't have a ton of options coming out of high school. We listed out pros and cons of each school. One of the biggest pros was my brother, Tyler. He was already on the team here. I wanted to play with him one more time. And instead of him distancing himself from me once he got to college, he let me into his world. I got to know some of his friends that are here tonight, actually. Tyler Sinclair, Eric Ornella. Thank you, Tyler, for being a great friend, a great role model, and a great brother. No matter what the pros and cons list said, no matter what advice people gave me, deep down I knew where I wanted to be. My heart kept coming back to one school. In the words of the Murray State legend Jimmy Carter, to the finest place we know. I got a few more minutes. Dave's going to kill me, but I got a few more minutes. I promise I'll. So many special moments I got to witness as a kid. We should have cross-referenced notes, Coach, because I got Tennessee State here, but Rob Hart kicking field goals barefoot in the snow at Eastern Kentucky. Aubrey Reese's shot over Bud Ely. Coach Tiki leading the Reds to an OVC title in 2002. Shane Anderson's kick versus Eastern Illinois. Cuffey, Burdine, Singleton, beating Tennessee Tech and Louisville in 2002. I could go on, and I even cherish those bad ones we just talked about a minute ago about Tennessee State and me crying. I knew I wanted to make my own memories here. And I hope one day there's a kid who grew up watching me and wants to be a racer so he can recreate his own memories. And of all the memories I made, my favorite was my freshman year when I completed 2 passes for 27 yards to my brother at Tennessee Tech. I ended my career with 9,990 passing yards. I'll get over this one day, but I'm very confident that I've thrown those 2 passes to anybody, literally anyone else on the field that day. I have 10,000 yards. I'll be quick. So without Murray State, I'd never met my smoking hot wife, Maddie. We've been together 14 years. She's my best friend and still my biggest fan. She knows I hate it when she says this, but she loves telling people I was Murray State's record-setting All-American quarterback. And it makes it even more awkward for me when the typical response back is, yeah, whatever, that guy was a left guard. And so I guess now she's going to have to add Hall of Fame to that title. We're expecting our first child, a baby boy, in April. So Nico and Coach Wright, so $1.5 million in NIL, guaranteed playing time as a freshman, and I already got Jim Foster's approval. We got unlimited cover for 4 years. So just need you guys to come through on that other stuff. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. A few months ago, and I only got a few more things. A few months ago, a former teammate summed up living in Murray and being a racer better than I could, and I had to share it. Murray taught us the hard way. We didn't have the best facilities. We didn't have unlimited funds. Our nutrition bar was peanut butter sandwiches. It was Racer Continental for breakfast. That was honey buns, Pop-Tarts, and if you were lucky enough to be early for practice, you were getting in one of them mini muffins. We had 1 pair of workout clothes. You might have a hole in your cleats or wet clothes from the day before, but it didn't matter. Because whether it was 5 a.m. in the snow at fall camp, or in the off season, or 4 p.m. in 100-degree heat in fall camp, you were giving it your all for the guy next to you, just so you could see Racer 1 go around the track and we scored. Murray's the keg on a Wednesday night with your teammates, even though you had a 5 a.m. workout the next morning. It's about the lessons we learned, having to work our tails off with no guarantee of a win on Saturday. Being a racer is about grit, toughness, pride, and representing this great community. It's what college football is supposed to be about. There aren't many places in the world like that, Murray. I'm going to leave you with this. I want everybody in the crowd to raise your hand as high as you can. Now raise it a little bit higher. See? Hey, you always have a little bit more to give than you think. Don't let anybody tell you you have limits. There is no ceiling. You're in control of you. You can be great if you work hard enough to achieve your goals. Going from a walk-on to a diehard Murray State fan to a Hall of Famer, I'm a living testament to that. Never in my wildest dreams could I imagine standing up here tonight. Thank you to everyone that helped make this night possible. And he's here tonight for Cuffey, so I don't want to steal your thunder. But there's only one way to end this speech. In the words of fellow Hall of Famer, Coach Sylvester Anderson, hey, go Racers.